Welcome back, folks. Just before we begin, it's a fun idea if you comment with your location. Thanks a bunch. Please like and subscribe. Let's get cozy and start the session. Coming home from work, I feel the weight of the day pressing on my shoulders. The air is thick with the scent of dinner, but there's a sense of unease I can't shake. The house is quiet, almost too quiet. I step inside and the sound of the door closing echoes through the empty hallway. Emma, I call out, but there's no response. She's probably working on her latest writing project, lost in her world of words. I head to the kitchen, grabbing a beer from the fridge. The cold bottle feels good against my palm. My name is Jack. I'm 42, a former Marine now working as a private investigator. I've always had a knack for noticing things, details others might miss. It's what makes me good at my job. Emma, my wife, and I have been married for 15 years. We have two kids, Sarah and Michael. They're my everything. I take a sip of my beer, my mind drifting. Emma and I had our struggles, especially after I came back from my last tour. War changes you. It changed me. Emma says she understands, but sometimes I wonder if she really does. I head to the living room planning to relax and catch up on some TV. But then I remember the document I need for a case I'm working on. It's somewhere in Emma's study. I decide to look for it. Her study is a mess, papers and books everywhere. Typical Emma. As I rummage through her desk, something catches my eye. A phone, not her usual one. I pick it up, curiosity piqued. It's locked, but a fingerprint opens it. Emma's fingerprint. My heart races as I scroll through the messages. Explicit photos and text between Emma and a man named Lucas. My breath catches in my throat. "Hey babe, you there?" The latest message from Lucas appears. My hand tightens around the phone, knuckles white. I confront Emma as soon as she walks in. "What the hell is this?" I demand, shoving the phone in her face. Her eyes widen and she pales. "Jack, I can explain," she starts, but I cut her off. "Explain what? That you've been screwing around behind my back?" My voice is low, dangerous. The betrayal cuts deep. I thought we had something real despite the rough patches. Emma's eyes fill with tears. "It's not what you think," she whispers. "Lucas and I, it was a mistake. It didn't mean anything." Her words feel hollow like a slap to the face. "Didn't mean anything?" "You've been lying to me, Emma." "How long?" I demand. "A few months," she admits, tears streaming down her face. "I was lonely, Jack. You were always busy, always distant." Her confession stings, but I can't ignore the truth. My marriage, my life, feels like a lie. I turn away from her, feeling the weight of her betrayal. I know I can't let this go. I need to know more about Lucas, about their relationship. My mind races with possibilities. As I stand there, the phone still clutched in my hand, I realize that my life is about to change in ways I can't even begin to imagine. The ordinary facade has crumbled, revealing the dark, twisted reality beneath. I can't sleep. Emma's beside me, her breathing slow and steady, but I'm wide awake. The phone with the messages is on the nightstand, a ticking time bomb. Every time I close my eyes, I see those explicit photos, those words. The betrayal cuts deep, like a wound that won't stop bleeding. The next morning, I'm up before the sun. Emma tries to talk to me, but I can't bear to look at her. "Jack, please, let's talk," she pleads, her voice thick with tears. But I shake my head. "There's nothing to talk about," I say, my voice cold. "I need some air." I head out, my mind racing. I walk aimlessly, trying to clear my head. But no matter how far I go, I can't escape the anger, the hurt. I decide to go to my office. Maybe work will help distract me. As a private investigator, I've seen my fair share of infidelity. I've helped countless clients uncover their partner's secrets. But this is different. This is personal. I can't just walk away. I need to know more about Lucas, about his relationship with Emma. I sit at my desk, staring at the phone. I start by tracing the number. It's a burner phone, but I have my ways. I pull up everything I can on Lucas. His full name is Lucas Palmer. He works for a marketing firm downtown. Single, no kids. But there's more. He has a criminal record. Fraud, embezzlement, blackmail. The guy is bad news. I dig deeper, accessing his emails, his financial records. The more I find, the angrier I get. Lucas is not just a cheat, he's a predator. He targets women like Emma, manipulates them. But this time, he picked the wrong woman. He picked the wrong family. I spend the next few days gathering evidence. I follow Lucas, photograph his meetings, his transactions. I compile a dossier that would make any prosecutor's mouth water. But it's not enough. I need to confront him, face to face. I need him to know that he messed with the wrong guy. One evening, I follow him to a bar. He's sitting at a table, a drink in his hand, a smug look on his face. I walk up to him, my heart pounding. "Lucas Palmer," I say, my voice steady. He looks up, surprise flickering in his eyes. "Who's asking?" I sit down across from him, my eyes locked on his. "I'm Jack, Emma's husband." His expression changes, a mix of shock and fear. "Listen, man, it's not what you think." I lean in, my voice low and dangerous. "I know exactly what it is. You've been screwing my wife, and you're going to pay for it." Lucas tries to stand, but I grab his arm, my grip tight. "You're not going anywhere." He glares at me, his bravado returning. "What do you want?" "I want you to stay away from my wife, and I want you to pay for what you've done. Not just to her, but to everyone you've hurt." Lucas laughs, a cold, hollow sound. "You think you can scare me? You're just a washed-up PI." I smile, but there's no humor in it. "You have no idea what I'm capable of." I let go of his arm and stand. "Consider this your only warning. Stay away from my family. If I see you near Emma again, I'll destroy you." I turn and walk away, my heart pounding in my chest. Confronting Lucas feels good, but it's not enough. I need to make sure he's out of our lives for good. When I get home, Emma is waiting for me. "Where have you been?" she asks, her voice trembling. "Out," I say, not looking at her. "Jack, please. We need to talk about this." I finally turn to her, my eyes hard. "There's nothing to talk about. I confronted Lucas. He knows to stay away from you." Emma's eyes widen. "You what?" "You heard me. He's not going to bother you again." She shakes her head, tears streaming down her face. "You don't understand, Jack. It's not that simple." "What do you mean?" Emma takes a deep breath, her hands trembling. "Lucas, he has something on me. Something I did a long time ago. He's been blackmailing me." My blood runs cold. "What are you talking about?" "Before we met, I was involved in some shady stuff. Lucas found out and has been using it against me. That's why I couldn't walk away." I feel a mix of anger and pity. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I was scared, Jack. I didn't want to lose you." I sigh, running a hand through my hair. "We need to go to the police." "No," she says quickly. "If we do that, he'll release everything. My career, our lives. It'll all be over." I sit down, my mind racing. "We can't let him win, Emma. We have to find a way to stop him." She nods, wiping her tears. "I know, but how?" "I have a plan," I say, determination setting in. "We're going to gather enough evidence to bring him down without involving the police." The next few days are a blur of activity. Emma and I work together, a reluctant team. We gather every piece of evidence we can find, documenting Lucas's crimes. But it's not easy. Lucas is careful, covering his tracks. One night, Emma and I are in bed, the weight of the day pressing on us. She turns to me, her eyes filled with a mix of fear and hope. "Jack, do you think we'll ever get past this?" I take her hand, squeezing it gently. "I don't know, Emma, but we have to try. For us, for the kids." She nods, her eyes closing. "I'm so sorry, Jack, for everything." I brush a strand of hair from her face. "We'll get through this, together." As the days pass, the tension between us starts to ease. We fall into a routine, a fragile semblance of normalcy. But the fear of Lucas's retaliation is always there, lurking in the shadows. One afternoon, I'm at my office when I get a call from Emma. "Jack, you need to come home, now." I can hear the panic in her voice. "What's wrong?" "It's Lucas. He's here." My heart pounds as I grab my keys and rush out the door. When I get home, I find Emma and the kids huddled together in the living room, their faces pale. Lucas stands in the doorway, a smug smile on his face. "Nice to see you, Jack," he says, his voice dripping with sarcasm. I step in front of my family, my eyes locked on his. Get out of my house. Lucas laughs. You think you can scare me? You're just a washed-up PI. I feel a surge of anger, my hands clenching into fists. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Lucas steps closer, his eyes cold. I know exactly what you're capable of, and I'm not scared. I take a deep breath, trying to stay calm. What do you want? I want you to back off, he says, his voice low. Stop digging into my business. If you don't, I'll make sure everyone knows about Emma's past. My mind races, trying to come up with a plan. You think you can blackmail us and get away with it? Lucas smirks. I know I can. I take a step closer, my voice steady. We'll see about that. He laughs again, turning to leave. This isn't over, Jack. Not by a long shot. As he walks out the door, I feel a mix of fear and determination. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. But I won't let him win. I'll find a way to protect my family, to bring him down. Emma comes up behind me, her hand on my shoulder. Jack, what are we going to do? I turn to her, my eyes hard. We're going to fight. We're going to take him down. The next few days are a blur of planning and preparation. I call in favors, gather allies. We set up surveillance, track Lucas's movements. Every step he takes, we're one step ahead. But Lucas is smart. He knows we're watching him. He starts to cover his tracks, making it harder for us to gather evidence. The tension builds, a constant weight on our shoulders. One night, Emma and I are in bed, the stress of the situation pressing down on us. She turns to me, her eyes filled with worry. Jack, what if we can't stop him? I take her hand, squeezing it gently. We will. We have to. She nods, her eyes closing. I'm so scared, Jack. I don't know what I'd do if we lost everything. I brush a strand of hair from her face. We won't, I promise. As the days pass, the tension between us starts to ease. We fall into a routine, a fragile semblance of normalcy. But the fear of Lucas's retaliation is always there, lurking in the shadows. One afternoon, I'm at my office when I get a call from Emma, and I work late into the night, piecing together every bit of evidence we have against Lucas. The air in the room is thick with tension, the glow from our computer screens casting eerie shadows on the walls. I'm driven by a mix of rage and determination. Lucas has pushed us too far. Emma hands me a cup of coffee, her fingers brushing mine. There's a spark, a connection that's been missing. Despite everything, she's here with me, fighting. We're going to get him, Jack, she says softly, her eyes filled with resolve. I nod, taking a sip of the bitter coffee. We have to, for our family. The next day, I meet with an old friend, Tom, who works in law enforcement. He's one of the few people I trust completely. We sit in a small diner, the buzz of conversation around us barely registering as I lay out everything we have on Lucas. Jesus, Jack, Tom mutters, shaking his head. This guy's a piece of work, but you need more than just these documents. You need a solid witness. I know, I say, running a hand through my hair, but everyone who could testify is either scared or bought off, except for Emma. Tom looks at me, concern etched on his face. Putting her on the stand is risky. Lucas won't hesitate to drag her through the mud. I don't have a choice, I say, my voice hard. We need to nail him, and she's our best shot. We leave the diner, and I feel the weight of what's ahead. The trial is looming, and Lucas isn't going to go down without a fight. As I drive home, my phone rings. It's Emma. Jack, we've got a problem, she says, her voice trembling. Lucas just called. He's threatening to release everything if we don't back off. My grip tightens on the steering wheel. Stay calm. We're not backing off. We'll deal with this. When I get home, Emma is pacing the living room. She looks up, relief and fear in her eyes. What are we going to do? I pull her into my arms, holding her close. We're going to keep fighting. Lucas thinks he can scare us, but he doesn't know who he's dealing with. We spend the next few days preparing for the trial. Emma rehearses her testimony, her nerves on edge. I can see the toll it's taking on her, but she's determined, and so am I. The night before the trial, we lie in bed holding each other. The fear and tension have brought us closer, rekindled something we thought we'd lost. As I kiss her, I feel a surge of desire, a reminder of why we're fighting so hard. We make love, the connection between us stronger than ever. The morning of the trial, the courthouse is a flurry of activity. Reporters, lawyers, and spectators mill about, the air electric with anticipation. I squeeze Emma's hand as we walk in, our steps in sync. We're in this together. The trial starts, and Lucas sits across the courtroom, a smug grin on his face. His lawyer is slick, confident, but I'm not intimidated. I know the truth, and I'm ready to fight for it. Emma takes the stand, her hands trembling slightly as she swears to tell the truth. She starts to speak, her voice steady but filled with emotion. She recounts everything, from their affair to the blackmail. The courtroom is silent, everyone hanging on her every word. Lucas's lawyer tries to rattle her, bring up her past, but Emma stands firm. Yes, I made mistakes, she says, her voice breaking, but that doesn't excuse what Lucas did. He manipulated and blackmailed me. He used my past against me. I watch, my heart swelling with pride and anger. Emma is brave, stronger than I ever realized. She's exposing her deepest secrets to bring Lucas down. The prosecution presents our evidence, the emails, the financial records, the photos. Lucas's smug expression falters as the weight of the evidence sinks in. He knows he's in deep trouble. The defense tries to counter, but it's clear they're scrambling. The judge looks unimpressed, and I feel a glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see justice. During a break, I step outside to clear my head. The air is cool, a welcome contrast to the stuffy courtroom. I take a deep breath, trying to calm the storm inside me. Jack, a voice says, and I turn to see Lucas standing a few feet away. My blood boils at the sight of him, but I force myself to stay calm. What do you want, Lucas? I say, my voice low and dangerous. He smirks, but there's a hint of desperation in his eyes. You think you've won? This isn't over. I have connections, power. You and your wife are nothing. I step closer, my fist clenched. You're going down, Lucas, and when you do, you'll have no one to blame but yourself. He laughs, a hollow sound. We'll see about that. I walk back inside, my resolve stronger than ever. Lucas is desperate, and that makes him dangerous. But I'm not backing down. I'll see this through to the end. The trial resumes and we present more evidence, more witnesses. Lucas's crimes are laid bare for everyone to see. The tension in the courtroom is palpable, everyone waiting for the judge's decision. Finally, after what feels like an eternity, the judge speaks. Based on the evidence presented, I find the defendant guilty on all counts. A cheer goes up in the courtroom, but I barely hear it. My focus is on Emma, on the relief and exhaustion in her eyes. We did it. We brought Lucas down. As we leave the courthouse, I feel a sense of triumph, but also a weight lifted off my shoulders. The battle isn't over, but we've won a crucial victory. That night, we celebrate quietly at home, the kids unaware of the storm we've weathered. Emma and I sit on the couch, her head resting on my shoulder. We did it, Jack, she says softly, her voice filled with awe. I kiss the top of her head. Yes, we did, and we'll keep fighting no matter what. We fall asleep in each other's arms, the first peaceful sleep we've had in months. But I know this isn't the end. Lucas has powerful friends, and he won't go down without a fight. The next morning, I wake up early, a sense of determination settling in. I make a promise to myself, to my family. I'll do whatever it takes to protect them, to keep them safe. Lucas may have lost this round, but the war is far from over. In the days that follow, we continue to gather evidence, to prepare for the next battle. Lucas's associates are still out there, and we need to be ready for whatever comes next. Emma and I grow closer, our bonds strengthened by the trials we've faced. We talk more, share more. The secrets that once divided us are now out in the open, and it feels like a fresh start. One evening, as we sit on the porch watching the sunset, Emma turns to me. Jack, what do you think will happen next? I take her hand, squeezing it gently. I don't know, but whatever it is, we'll face it together. She smiles, a genuine smile that lights up her face. I love you, Jack. Thank you for standing by me. I love you too, Emma. And I'll always stand by you. As the sun sets, casting a warm glow over us, I feel a sense of peace. We've been through hell, but we've come out stronger, and whatever comes next, we'll face it together. The courtroom is packed, buzzing with tension. Lucas sits at the defense table, his eyes narrowed and lips pressed into a thin line. His lawyer is a shark in a suit, ready to tear apart anyone in their path. Emma sits beside me, her hand trembling in mine. The trial has reached its climax, and I can feel the weight of it pressing down on us. The prosecution calls its final witness, a former associate of Lucas who has agreed to testify in exchange for immunity. The man takes the stand, his eyes darting around nervously. He knows he's risking everything by being here. "State your name for the record," the prosecutor says, her voice steady. "James Phillips," the man replies, his voice barely above a whisper. "Mr. Phillips, can you tell the court about your relationship with the defendant?" Phillips takes a deep breath. "I worked with Lucas. We ran several scams together. Embezzlement, blackmail, you name it. He was the mastermind." Lucas glares at Phillips, his eyes filled with hatred. The tension in the room is palpable. The prosecutor presses on, asking Phillips to detail their operations. Each word is a nail in Lucas's coffin. I glance at Emma. She's watching Phillips intently, her fear giving way to determination. She's been through hell, but she's not backing down. Neither am I. The defense lawyer stands ready to dismantle Phillips' testimony. "Mr. Phillips, you've made a deal with the prosecution, haven't you? Immunity in exchange for your testimony?" Phillips nods. "Yes. So you're willing to say anything to save your own skin?" Phillips looks down, shame washing over him. "I'm telling the truth." The defense lawyer smirks. "We'll see about that." The cross-examination is brutal, but Phillips holds his ground. By the end, it's clear that Lucas's crimes are too extensive to be denied. The judge adjourns the court for the day, and we leave the courthouse, a mix of relief and anxiety hanging over us. Outside, the reporters swarm us. Cameras flash, microphones thrust in our faces. I shield Emma, pushing through the crowd. We need to get home, away from this madness. That night, we sit in the living room, the weight of the trial bearing down on us. The kids are asleep, blissfully unaware of the storm we're in. Emma leans against me, her body warm and soft. Despite everything, I feel a surge of desire. I kiss her, needing the connection, the reminder that we're still here, still fighting. She responds, her kisses urgent and hungry. We make love on the couch, the tension and fear melting away, if only for a moment. In those moments, nothing else matters. It's just us together, battling the darkness. The next morning, we return to the courthouse. The atmosphere is even tenser, if that's possible. The prosecution rests its case, and the defense begins its arguments. Lucas's lawyer is smooth, trying to paint him as a victim of circumstance. But the evidence is damning. Lucas takes the stand, his demeanor shifting from confident to desperate. "I'm innocent," he insists, his voice cracking. "This is all a setup." The prosecutor tears him apart, exposing his lies. Lucas's facade crumbles, and the courtroom watches in silence as his true nature is revealed. It's a brutal, satisfying sight. The jury deliberates for hours, each minute stretching into an eternity. Emma and I sit in the waiting area, our hands clasped together. Finally, the jury returns. The verdict is read, and the room erupts. Guilty on all counts. I pull Emma into my arms, relief washing over us. We've done it. We've brought him down. But the victory is bittersweet. The scars of this battle run deep, and I know it's not truly over. Lucas is led away in handcuffs, his eyes burning with hatred. "This isn't the end," he snarls. "You'll pay for this." I meet his gaze, my expression hard. "We'll see about that." We leave the courthouse, the reporters swarming us once again. This time, I don't shield Emma. We face them together, stronger than before. Our story is out there now, and we're not hiding anymore. At home, we sit in the kitchen, the weight of the past months finally lifting. Emma looks at me, her eyes filled with a mix of relief and exhaustion. "We did it, Jack. We really did it." I nod, pulling her close. "Yeah, we did, but it's not over. Lucas has powerful friends. We need to stay vigilant." She nods, understanding. "I know, but for now, can we just breathe?" I smile, kissing her forehead. "Yeah, we can breathe." The next few days are a blur of media attention and legal proceedings. We give statements, tie up loose ends. Through it all, Emma and I grow closer, our bond forged in fire. We're stronger now, more united. One evening, we sit on the porch, watching the sunset. The sky is painted in hues of orange and pink, a beautiful contrast to the chaos we've endured. Emma rests her head on my shoulder, her fingers intertwined with mine. Jack, do you think we'll ever be truly safe? I take a deep breath, considering her question. I don't know, but we'll face whatever comes next together. She smiles, a genuine smile that lights up her face. I love you, Jack. Thank you for standing by me. I love you too, Emma, and I'll always stand by you. The peace is short-lived. One night I wake to the sound of glass breaking. My heart pounds as I reach for the baseball bat I keep by the bed. Emma's already up, fear in her eyes. Stay here, I whisper, moving towards the noise. I creep down the stairs, every sense on high alert. In the living room, I see a shadowy figure. My blood runs cold. Lucas's threats echo in my mind. He's not done with us. Who's there? I demand, my voice low and dangerous. The figure turns and I see it's one of Lucas's associates. He smirks, holding a knife. This is just the beginning, he says, lunging at me. We struggle, the room a blur of movement and violence. I manage to disarm him, but he's strong, fueled by desperation. We crash into the furniture, the noise echoing through the house. Emma appears at the top of the stairs, her face pale. Jack! Call the police! I shout, grappling with the intruder. She hesitates, then runs for the phone. I focus on the man, every muscle straining. Finally, I get the upper hand, pinning him to the ground just as sirens wail in the distance. The police arrive, arresting the man. They take our statements, the house buzzing with activity. Emma clings to me, her body trembling. Jack, what are we going to do? I hold her close, my mind racing. We're going to protect our family, whatever it takes. The next morning, we install security systems, fortify the house. I reach out to my contacts, securing safe locations if we need to disappear. Emma and I are on high alert, every sound putting us on edge. Despite the fear, we don't let it consume us. We continue to live our lives, to fight for normalcy. Emma goes back to writing, finding solace in her words. I continue my work as a PI, using my skills to keep us safe. One night as we lie in bed, I hold Emma close. We'll get through this, I whisper. We've faced worse. She nods, her breath warm against my chest. I know, but I'm scared, Jack. What if Lucas comes after us again? We'll be ready, I say, my voice firm. He won't get the chance to hurt us again. In the weeks that follow, we settle into a new routine. The tension eases, but we remain vigilant. Lucas may be behind bars, but his influence lingers. We take each day as it comes, finding strength in each other. The trial has changed us, scarred us, but it's also brought us closer. We're a team, a unit, and we'll face whatever comes next together. As I watch Emma sleeping beside me, I feel a surge of determination. We've been through hell, but we've come out stronger. And no matter what, I'll protect my family. We'll fight. We'll survive. Together. The days blend together as we work on fortifying our lives against any future threats. Every sound makes me tense. Every shadow seems ominous. But I know we have to stay strong. Emma and I set up a strict routine. Morning workouts, security checks, school drop-offs, and pickups for Sarah and Michael. Normalcy helps keep the fear at bay. One morning, as Emma prepares breakfast, I sit at the kitchen table, scanning through documents and emails, searching for any sign of Lucas's influence. Emma places a plate of eggs in front of me, her hand lingering on my shoulder. Any news? She asks, her voice hopeful, yet wary. Nothing concrete, I reply, looking up at her. But I'm not giving up. She nods, her eyes meeting mine. There's a new strength in her, a resolve that matches my own. We're in this together. Later, I head to my office. I've called in a favor from an old Marine buddy, Rick. He's got connections in high places and might be able to help us get a more secure location. Rick arrives, his presence a comforting reminder of my past life. We sit in my office, going over plans and contingencies. Jack, you've got to be ready for anything, Rick says, his tone serious. Lucas has friends, but so do we. We'll keep you and your family safe. I know, I say, grateful for his support. Thanks, Rick. That evening, Emma and I put the kids to bed. Sarah and Michael seem more at ease, sensing the calm we're trying to project. Once they're asleep, Emma and I sit on the porch, a glass of wine in hand. The night is quiet, the stars bright against the dark sky. I think we're going to be okay, Emma says, her voice soft. I reach for her hand, squeezing it gently. We will be. We've been through hell, but we're still standing. She leans in, kissing me softly. Thank you, Jack, for everything. We head inside, the tension between us melting away. In the bedroom, the air is thick with unspoken desire. I pull her close, our bodies pressed together. We make love slowly, reconnecting on a deep primal level. It's a reminder of why we're fighting so hard to protect our family. The next day, I get a call from Tom. He's got a lead on one of Lucas's associates, a man named Greg who might be willing to testify against him. We arrange a meeting at a secluded location. Emma insists on coming with me. I want to see this through, Jack. I need to. We drive to the meeting spot, a deserted warehouse on the outskirts of town. Greg is already there, looking nervous. His eyes dart around, and I can see the fear in them. Thanks for meeting us, I say, extending my hand. Greg shakes it, his grip weak. I don't have much time, Greg says, his voice trembling. Lucas has people everywhere. But I can help you. I have information that can bring down his whole operation. We sit down and Greg starts talking, revealing the inner workings of Lucas's criminal network. It's worse than I imagined. Blackmail, extortion, even connections to organized crime. Emma takes notes, her face set in determination. This is exactly what we need, she says. We can finally put an end to this. Greg hands us a USB drive. Everything you need is on here, but be careful. Lucas won't go down without a fight. We thank Greg and head back to the car. As we drive away, I feel a sense of hope. We have the evidence we need to take Lucas down for good. At home, we review the information. It's a goldmine. Names, dates, transactions. Enough to put Lucas and his entire network behind bars. We contact Tom, setting up a plan to hand everything over to the authorities. The next few days are a whirlwind of activity. We work closely with Tom, ensuring the evidence is secure. The kids sense something big is happening, but we try to keep their lives as normal as possible. Finally, the day comes to make our move. We gather at Tom's office, the USB drive in hand. Tom's team is ready, a mix of law enforcement and federal agents. The atmosphere is tense but charged with anticipation. Let's do this, Tom says, and we head out, ready to take down Lucas's empire. The raid goes off without a hitch. Lucas's associates are rounded up, and the evidence is seized. It's a massive operation, and I watch with satisfaction as the pieces fall into place. Lucas is arrested, his smug arrogance replaced by shock and anger. He glares at me as he's led away in handcuffs. You'll pay for this, Jack, he snarls. Not this time, Lucas, I say, my voice steady. This is over. As Lucas is taken away, I feel a sense of closure. We've done it. We've brought him down. But I know this isn't the end. There will be fallout, consequences. But for now, we can breathe a little easier. Back at home, Emma and I collapse onto the couch, exhaustion and relief washing over us. The kids run in, sensing the change in the air. We pull them close, holding them tight. We're a family, stronger than ever. The next few days are filled with media attention and legal proceedings. The trial is set, and Lucas's empire crumbles. His associates turn on him, revealing even more of his crimes. It's a thorough takedown, and I feel a sense of justice. Emma and I focus on rebuilding our lives. We spend more time with the kids, making up for the months of tension and fear. We reconnect with friends and family, finding solace in their support. One evening, as we sit on the porch, Emma turns to me. Jack, do you think we'll ever be truly free of this? I take her hand, squeezing it gently. I don't know, but we faced worse, and we're still here. We'll take it one day at a time. She nods, a smile playing on her lips. We've come a long way, haven't we? We have, I agree, pulling her close, and we'll keep moving forward. As the days pass, the fear eases. We find a new rhythm, a new normal. The scars of the past are still there, but they don't define us. We're stronger, more resilient. Emma and I grow closer, our bond unbreakable. We talk more, share more. The secrets that once divided us are now out in the open, and it feels like a fresh start. One night, as we lie in bed, Emma rests her head on my chest. Thank you, Jack, for everything. I kiss the top of her head. I'd do it all again. For you, for us. She smiles, her eyes closing. I love you, Jack. I love you too, Emma, always. The trial comes and goes, and Lucas is sentenced to life in prison. His associates are also convicted, their empire dismantled. It's a victory, but it comes with a price. The media frenzy, the scrutiny, but we weather it, standing strong. Months pass, and we begin to rebuild our lives. We move to a new house, a fresh start. The kids adjust, finding new friends and settling into their routines. Emma and I focus on each other, on healing the wounds. One afternoon, as we walk through the park, I watch Sarah and Michael play, their laughter filling the air. Emma slips her hand into mine, her touch warm and reassuring. We made it, Jack, she says, her voice filled with wonder. I nod, a smile tugging at my lips. Yeah, we did, and we'll keep making it, together. As we watch our children, I feel a sense of peace. We've been through hell, but we've come out stronger. And no matter what the future holds, we'll face it together. We're a family, united and unbreakable. As the sun sets, casting a warm glow over us, I know that this is just the beginning of our new life. And whatever comes next, we'll face it head on, with love and strength. Together. The trial has been over for months, and life is starting to feel normal again. But there's an unease I can't shake. I know Lucas has powerful friends, and I can't afford to let my guard down. Emma and I have built a fortress around our lives, but even the strongest walls can crumble. One evening, we're having dinner when the phone rings. It's Tom. Jack, we need to talk, he says, his voice urgent. I step outside, closing the door behind me. What's going on? Lucas has been making moves from inside. He's got people on the outside still working for him. I feel a chill run down my spine. What are they planning? We're not sure yet, but you need to be careful. Keep your family safe. I thank Tom and hang up, my mind racing. I walk back inside, trying to keep my fear from showing. Emma looks at me, concern etched on her face. What is it? Just some work stuff, I say, forcing a smile. Nothing to worry about. But she sees through my lie. Later, after the kids are in bed, she confronts me. Jack, I know something's wrong. Please, just tell me. I sigh, running a hand through my hair. Tom called. Lucas is still trying to get at us. He's got people on the outside. Emma's face pales and she sits down heavily on the couch. What are we going to do? We'll stay vigilant. We'll protect our family, whatever it takes. Days pass and the tension builds. We keep a close eye on our surroundings, double-checking locks and watching for anything out of the ordinary. But life goes on. The kids go to school, Emma continues her writing, and I work cases that come my way. One night as we lie in bed, Emma turns to me. Do you think we'll ever be truly safe? I pull her close, kissing her forehead. I don't know, but we'll face whatever comes together. The next morning, I wake to the sound of the doorbell. I grab my robe and head downstairs. Through the peephole, I see a delivery man holding a package. I open the door and he hands it to me with a smile. Sign here, please, he says. I sign the slip and take the package inside. Emma joins me, curiosity in her eyes. What is it? I tear it open, revealing a small, unmarked box. Inside, there's a flash drive and a note. I read the note aloud. Jack, this is the proof you need. Use it wisely. A friend. Emma looks at me, her eyes wide. What do you think it is? I don't know, but we're about to find out. We plug the flash drive into my laptop, and a series of files pop up. Videos, documents, and emails, all linking Lucas to a network of corruption and crime that goes far beyond anything we imagined. This is it. This is what we need to finally end this nightmare. We need to get this to Tom, Emma says, her voice trembling with excitement. I nod. Let's go. We drive to Tom's office, the flash drive clutched tightly in my hand. Tom meets us at the door, his expression grim. What do you have? Everything, I say, handing him the drive. This is the smoking gun. Tom's eyes widen as he looks through the files. This is huge, Jack. This could bring down half of Lucas's network. We spend the next few hours going through the evidence, planning our next move. Tom contacts his superiors, setting up a task force to take down Lucas's associates. As we leave Tom's office, I feel a sense of relief. We finally got what we need, but I know this isn't over. Not yet. That night, Emma and I sit on the porch, watching the stars. The air is cool and the weight of the past months feels lighter. We did it, Emma says, her voice filled with wonder. Yeah, we did, I reply, pulling her close. But we need to stay vigilant. Lucas won't go down without a fight. She nods, her eyes shining with determination. We'll face whatever comes next. Together. The next morning, we wake to the sound of sirens. I rush to the window, my heart pounding. Police cars line the street, their lights flashing. I see Tom standing outside, motioning for us to come out. We step outside and Tom walks over, a grim look on his face. Jack, Emma, we've got a problem. Lucas's men are making a move. We need to get you to a safe location. My heart sinks. How did they find us? Tom shakes his head. We're not sure, but we need to move. Now. We grab the kids and a few essentials, and Tom leads us to an armored SUV. The drive is tense, every turn and bump making my heart race. We arrive at a safe house, a nondescript building in a quiet neighborhood. Inside, it's a fortress. Security cameras, reinforced doors, and a team of guards. We're safe for now. Emma and I sit on the couch, holding the kids close. It's going to be okay, I say, trying to reassure them. We're safe here. But even as I say the words, I can't shake the feeling of dread. Lucas is out there, and he's not going to stop until he gets what he wants. Days pass, and we settle into the safe house. The kids adapt quickly, their resilience a constant source of amazement. Emma and I stay in close contact with Tom, monitoring the situation. One night, as we sit in the living room, the power goes out. The room plunges into darkness, and my heart skips a beat. Stay here, I whisper to Emma, grabbing a flashlight and heading to the control room. I find one of the guards there, his face pale. We're under attack, he says, his voice shaky. Lucas's men found us. I feel a surge of anger and fear. Get everyone to the safe room, now. I rush back to the living room, grabbing Emma and the kids. We need to go, now. We race to the safe room, the sound of gunfire echoing through the house. Inside, the reinforced door closes behind us, and I hold Emma and the kids close. We'll be okay, I whisper, my voice filled with determination. We'll get through this. Hours pass, the tension suffocating. Finally, the gunfire stops, and we hear the sound of footsteps approaching. The door opens and Tom steps in, a look of relief on his face. It's over, he says. We got them. We step out of the safe room, the house a mess of broken glass and bullet holes. But we're alive. We survived. Over the next few days, Tom's team rounds up the remaining members of Lucas's network. The evidence we provided is enough to secure convictions, and Lucas's empire crumbles. As the dust settles, we return home. The nightmare finally over. The house feels different, the air lighter. We've been through hell, but we've come out stronger. One evening, as we sit on the porch, Emma turns to me. Jack, do you think we'll ever be truly free of this? I take her hand, squeezing it gently. I don't know, but we've faced worse, and we're still here. We'll take it one day at a time. She nods, a smile playing on her lips. We've come a long way, haven't we? We have, I agree, pulling her close, and we'll keep moving forward. As the days pass, the fear eases. We find a new rhythm, a new normal. The scars of the past are still there, but they don't define us. We're stronger, more resilient. Emma and I grow closer, our bond unbreakable. We talk more, share more. The secrets that once divided us are now out in the open, and it feels like a fresh start. One night as we lie in bed, Emma rests her head on my chest. Thank you, Jack, for everything. I kiss the top of her head. I'd do it all again. For you, for us. She smiles, her eyes closing. I love you, Jack. I love you too, Emma. Always. We face each day with a new sense of purpose, determined to protect our family and live our lives to the fullest. Lucas's shadow may still linger, but it no longer controls us. As we watch Sarah and Michael play in the yard, I feel a sense of peace. We've been through hell, but we've come out stronger, and no matter what the future holds, we'll face it together. We're a family, united and unbreakable. As the sun sets, casting a warm glow over us, I know that this is just the beginning of our new life, and whatever comes next, we'll face it head-on, with love and strength. Together. Life has a strange way of moving on. The trial, the attacks, the constant fear, all of it feels like a distant nightmare now. The sun rises and sets, and we go about our days with a sense of normalcy I never thought we'd feel again. But I know better than to let my guard down completely. Emma and I sit on the porch one evening, watching Sarah and Michael chase each other around the yard. The golden light of the setting sun casts a warm glow over everything, a stark contrast to the darkness we've endured. I turn to Emma, my hand resting on hers. "We've come a long way," I say, my voice soft. She smiles, a genuine smile that reaches her eyes. "We have, and we're still here, together." Our lives have settled into a new rhythm. The kids are doing well in school, Emma's writing is thriving, and my work as a PI keeps me busy. But the memories linger, the scars hidden beneath the surface. We talk about it sometimes, late at night when the house is quiet and the world feels safe. "Do you ever think about what could have happened?" Emma asked one night, her head resting on my chest. "Every day," I admit, but I also think about how far we've come, how strong we are now. She nods, her fingers tracing circles on my skin. "I love you, Jack, more than ever." "I love you too, Emma, always." We make love slowly, savoring each other, the connection we fought so hard to preserve. It's more than just physical. It's a reaffirmation of our bond, our commitment to each other. The next morning, I wake to the sound of birds chirping outside our window. Emma is still asleep, her face peaceful. I slip out of bed and head downstairs, the aroma of coffee filling the kitchen. I pour myself a cup and step out onto the porch, taking a deep breath of the cool morning air. Tom calls and we discuss the latest developments in Lucas's case. His network has been dismantled, his associates behind bars. There's still work to be done, but the worst is over. "You did good, Jack," Tom says. "You kept your family safe." "Thanks, Tom. Couldn't have done it without you." We hang up, and I feel a sense of closure. It's not perfect, but it's enough. We're safe, and that's what matters. As the days pass, we focus on the future. We plan trips, make new memories, and cherish the quiet moments. Emma's book is published, a story of resilience and love that reflects our own journey. It's a bestseller, and I couldn't be prouder. One evening, we throw a party to celebrate. Friends and family fill the house, laughter and music blending into a joyful symphony. Emma glows with happiness, and I can't take my eyes off her. "Jack, come dance with me," she says, pulling me onto the makeshift dance floor. We move together, our bodies in sync. I hold her close, the world fading away. In this moment, everything feels right. As the party winds down, we sit on the porch, watching the stars. Emma rests her head on my shoulder, and I wrap my arm around her. "What do you see when you look at the star?" she asks, her voice a whisper. "Hope," I say, "a future filled with possibilities." She smiles, her eyes shining. "Me too." The weeks turn into months, and life continues to move forward. We've rebuilt our lives, stronger than before. The fear is still there, a shadow that lingers, but it no longer controls us. Emma and I grow closer, our bond unbreakable. We talk more, share more, and the secrets that once divided us are now out in the open. It feels like a fresh start, a new beginning. One night, as we lie in bed, Emma rests her head on my chest. "Thank you, Jack, for everything." I kiss the top of her head. "I'd do it all again. For you, for us." She smiles, her eyes closing. "I love you, Jack." "I love you too, Emma. Always." As I watch her sleep, I feel a sense of peace. We've been through hell, but we've come out stronger. And no matter what the future holds, we'll face it together. We're a family, united and unbreakable. As the sun rises, casting a warm glow over us, I know that this is just the beginning of our new life. And whatever comes next, we'll face it head on, with love and strength. together.